We will talk about the future of email communication in Web3, or how to reach 200 million crypto users. The next guy knows how to do this. He created 5 companies in Web 1 and Web 2 and invested in another dozen companies too. Please welcome the first after our break. Here is Gerald Heydenreich. Welcome.
Very good.
And we are very curious what you have for us today.
Thank you very much. Very kind. Hey guys. Yeah, so after lunch, it's always the most challenging part, but I'm here to tell you a little bit about future of communication, email communication specifically in Web3. I've been 20 years an entrepreneur, actually between 2006 and 2010, with a community of about 10 million members, and we were sending 10 million emails per day, and I know how amazing email can be. So, but before I get started about email in Web3, let me actually start with communication problems in Web3, because if I can change this, okay, okay, I need the next slide. Hello. Okay, perhaps somebody can help me with the next slide here. Okay, here it is. Good, great. So we've been involved in a couple of NFT projects, and one of the big issues was always communication with future token holders and current token holders after the launch, actually. Very often, people then try to communicate via Discord and Telegram, but then on the other side, the community very often also just mutes it because it's so much noise. How many people of you participated in NFT projects so far? Okay, so you guys know what I'm talking about. At one point, you mute your Telegram and your Discord because it's just too much noise. So for the NFT project, actually, it's a really, really big issue because they just can't communicate essentially with token holders. So, here. So, as I said, Telegram, Discord, and Twitter are the main channels, but it's simply not enough in order to reach all the people. And then something like this actually happens. So MailChimp, a couple of weeks back, said we're going to ban now all crypto companies from using our solution. So people will really have issues to address their end consumers. Why do I believe in email? And when we started with this, people said, email, well, that's dead, isn't it? Well, email is not dead. The email is about 320 billion emails are sent every single day. 4.3 billion are there today who receive emails. It's actually growing significantly. And if you look at all the marketing channels, email is still the most bang for the buck. So on average, you invest $1 and you actually get 42. And specifically, of course, it's for existing users. So who uses email in their projects to address users at the moment? Okay, everybody is trying to do it, of course. But the big challenge, of course, is what happens now? I've sold you an NFT, you have left me with your email, but now you actually sell the NFT to him. How do I get actually back in touch with you? Second one is email. The old traditional email actually has a lot of issues because it just doesn't match with what Web3 really is needing. So you don't really have a tool to communicate with all current NFT holders or token holders, basically. You really don't differentiate between who has many tokens, few tokens, high wallet value, low wallet value. And of course, also you can't really do user flows on Telegram and Instagram and so on. I spoke already about this one, channels today, Telegram, WhatsApp, and Gmail. And what I see is basically that eventually the old tools are there also. So there's for sure Telegram and Discord are there, which are needed and which are going to stay also. But we strongly believe that there is actually a better way of how to address communities in Web3. So what we actually did is we used wallets. So for the moment, we are on the EVM chain or EVM compatible chains. So we took all wallets which are out there and put an @ethermail.io to the end. So anybody who now has a wallet today can connect to ethermail.io, and it already is an email inbox basically waiting for you. So if I would know your wallet address, basically, I can now send from my normal phone, my email web browser, basically, or my mail, I can send a wallet @ethermail.io, and in 2 or 3 weeks' time, when you first hear about it, you can log in, and it would actually be waiting for you. So it's a holding inbox. And that is, of course, the interesting part about this, because email, as you know, eventually is a marketplace. Email is actually the first real decentralized application there has been, and it has been decentralized from the beginning. And as the fax machine, email of course works if you have users on the one side and issuers or senders on the other side. So you have to create that issue, or you have to solve the issue of how do I bring users and the same, so receivers and senders at the same time. So this is the first thing what we did. So everybody who is there, on the mobile, it's still a bit cranky, but on the desktop for sure it works very well. You can connect, you have your EtherMail, and you have your emails waiting for you. First thing. Second thing, that's the C side, the consumer side. Companies now can go and we basically tell them, give us your smart contract. We look at blockchain real-time data, so we sync the information which on the blockchain based on the information there with the wallets, and we actually give the company a completely updated email list. So if you would have an NFT project, you give me your smart contract, and tomorrow I'll tell you, okay, you now have 3,000 of your users using, you can address them with the @wallet@ethermail.io. The only thing what you need to do essentially is communicate to your users that you're in the future going to use EtherMail as a tool. Next thing, of course, what's happening is you sell your NFT to him. What's happening on my side? It's an automated updated email list. So the blockchain knows that the asset has been transferred from you to him. So I know now that you are actually the holder of it. So that, of course, creates so much value, because think about it a little bit further, what's going to happen in the future with wallet and communication connected. Think about that you actually buy something with your wallet, and the wallet, again, the email knows what you have bought. I can, of course, eventually target you specifically with something what you have bought previously, because I know the communication mechanism and the payment. So we essentially combine payment with communication. Think about, I send you an email now, and in the email itself, I just click buy, and that's it. There's no more conversion problems from, okay, I click on it, I go to a web page, I have to fill out my details, and it's a simple click and I buy, because it's payment on my identity connected with the email. So this is essentially what Web3 email is actually doing. Last part, how many times left? 6 minutes left. The last part is actually we are reinventing of actually who is getting what in the universe of advertisement, let's say. For the moment, at the moment it's like this. You've probably left your email address somewhere, you're getting spammed, and you always get that information, what you still don't want to have anymore. We have implemented something which is called a pay-to-read model. So you have a paywall. On the paywall, you define the amount of money, or EMC, which is the EtherMail coin, converted in the EtherMail token in the future, what you want to receive in order to read others people's emails. Okay? A token project can always communicate for free with me, because it's the communication directly. But on the other side, for example, if now you, Oliver, want to send something to me, but you're not connected to me, then you would have to pay something to me. And perhaps I'm a whale and I have a wallet with, 10,000 Bitcoins. It would be probably quite costly to send me something, but I would be able to define that, and you would be able actually to send me an email into my wallet email, basically. So that's the wallet information. Of course, everything is encrypted, so end-to-end encryption. There's a lot of focus on anti-spam and who can actually send emails in order to avoid anti-phishing and all these other things, to make sure that basically privacy is respected, and also, of course, GDPR. So we seem to do one or two things right. So we started the project about 10 months ago. We started developing it. And we are now at X hundred thousands of users. And we actually launched only 5 weeks ago. It was all people virally telling each other about EtherMail. And we haven't even started to onboard projects. And we're now in the process to onboard the first 9 or 10 projects, some very big NFT projects from the US, but then also some actually corporates from the music industry who actually realize that this way of how to communicate with people is actually something which is very valuable. Last part, it actually does, it creates the bridge, let's say, between Web 2 and Web 3, because guess what? How many companies do you know in Web 2 who can actually accept the wallet? The backend systems are just not made for it. Every database or Web 2 companies is made for email, at whatever. So what we are essentially we are the bridge from Web 2 into Web 3, because we go to a Web 2 company and say, listen, just put in our sign up with EtherMail, and you actually get the wallet information and the email information directly into your database, and you can target users with ethermail.io. That's it, more or less. We have a couple of people also with whom we are working. At the moment, we are focused on EVM, so ethermail.io. We're going to have Flow Mail, we're going to have Solana Mail, so also on the other chains. And actually, if you have any project that you would be interested to talk to us, we also have a small booth here, and you're more than welcome to actually speak to us or send us an email to Gerald at EtherSuite or the wallet address. And yes, of course, we also will very soon actually allow ENS integration and also Unstoppable domains, so that actually you can just take over your information from ENS or from Unstoppable and then just receive a very normal email in your inbox. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, we have 3 minutes left. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.